I grew up in Salt Lake City, which, as a lot of people may or may not know, is like the mecca for the LDS Church, aka Mormons. Um, and when you live there, you don't realize how much of a bubble it is. So, um, going to elementary school, middle school, high school, and you kind of meet some kids that aren't raised that way, and then you start to kind of see like, oh, this isn't the only thing that exists in the world, because they're very good at kind of making it seem that way. And I'm not saying any other religion doesn't do that as well, but moving here and moving to other states where there's a very, very low presence, it feels like another planet when you leave. Um, my family, pretty much all of my extended family and my immediate family, was raising us as Mormon. And then when I was about 11 or 12, my parents split up, and my family, even my aunts and uncles and grandparents, all collectively stopped going kind of at the same time. I don't think it was for any particular reason, but we just did. So I didn't have to go through those pains that a lot of kids I grew up with did, where they realized they didn't want to be a part of the church, and a lot of them got disowned by their families or got shunned, and I didn't have to deal with that, which was a
How
very big blessing.
how old were you around this when, like, people started leaving?
Like 11.
Okay, so you're quite
Yeah,
young.
very young, yeah. So I never owned a Bible, and my parents were teachers in the Mormon church, actually. So my dad, like, Mormon church is very long. It's like 3 hours, and so the first hour is called sacrament, which is where you all meet in the chapel, I guess, in the pews, and you sing, and there's people that go up and do talks. You call it giving a talk and giving a testimony. Um, and I never really understood any of what we were doing. They had the bread and the water. I just got really excited to have a little snack and a little bit of water, but I just never really cared. It was more of just a place where I felt forced to have to go, and we just sang these songs that I didn't understand anything. And I feel like I knew more about like Gordon B. Hinckley and some of the prophets like Joseph Smith than I did about Jesus. Like I don't remember hardly learning about Jesus, although they had pictures of him. Um, and the churches themselves are very dingy, and they feel like office buildings. Like there's hardly any windows, there's no art, there's no stained glass. They smell strange too. Like they have this particular smell, like no matter which one you go into the hundreds that there are in the Salt Lake
You know
Valley,
what I
they all smell
noticed?
the same.
I went to a few, Mormon churches. The first one I went to, I was like, "Wow, this is not that bad," like, nice pictures. Then the second one I went to, I was like, "Are these the same pictures?" And then I realized they're the same layout, and by the third one I went to, I was like, "Okay, every
They're
single
all the
Mormon church is
same.
exactly the same."
They
They don't
are.
tell you that until you start
Mm-mm.
going, but it's like like,
Well,
identical.
and the other thing is, like, you think that's what church is. Like, when the first time I stepped into a Catholic church, which was last year at 31 years old or 30 years old, that's how long it took me to step foot into a Catholic church. And I was blown away. Like, it's so beautiful.